back to the show, a play suit that's new. It's daring and bold and just meant for you. Hold everything, I know that's wrong. Won't you tell me now what's going on?
This is my autographed picture of Teri Garr, whom I adored. Teri Garr was an actress and a dancer. A lot of people don't realize that she was, well, we're going to go into that. She was born in the San Fernando Valley, and her name was, birth name was Teri, Terry, Garr. And a numerologist told her when she was getting into show business, she should change the spelling of her first name, or just change the spelling of her first or last name, because having repeating letters in her first and last name was bad luck for her. But she was born in 1944, and she was a good serious actress. She was a great comic actress, and she's a great dancer too. She grew up in the San Fernando Valley, and she was very good friends with Toni Basil, who most people know from the song Mickey. But she and Teri Garr were best friends, and they would dance at the clubs on the Sunset Strip in the 60s. Toni Basil said they studied ballet in the morning, afternoons were jazz class, evening was acting class, and at night they hit the nightclubs like the Crescendo and the Whiskey A Go-Go on the Sunset Strip. A lot of people don't know or don't associate Teri Garr with the dancing that she did in the beach movies, the Annette Funicello Pajama Party. She was in 9 Elvis Presley movies. She said her first movie, I think, was Viva Las Vegas. We could see her featured. And then she was on the Tammy Show as a dancer, Hullabaloo, Shindig. You can see her in the background dancing with the Supremes, or behind the Supremes in this clip.
This is a pajama party?
Now, Teri went to the Lee Strasberg Institute in New York. Her breakthrough was on an episode of Star Trek. That was her first real job, where she had a fairly large speaking part in 1968. But she also appeared in the Monkees movie Head, that the screenplay was written by Jack Nicholson. And she was also on a ton of commercials in the 70s, especially. She said that she did a Band-Aid commercial with John Travolta, laundry detergent, coffee.
Hot, warm, and cold?
Sure, these grungy socks need hot water. And see, permanent press needs warm, unless you want wrinkly stuff.
Look, when it comes to coffee, I don't take any chances. I use MJB. Stuck on Band-Aid, 'cause Band-Aid stuck on me.
But one that she was particularly self-conscious about was one she did for Fruit of the Loom underwear.
You know what makes me feel good? Curling up with a good book. Pumping iron. Maybe later. And these little numbers. Yeah, Fruit of the Loom panties.
She was also on a lot of television programs. She was on the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour. She was in The Odd Couple, the Bob Newhart Show. And then her big break was in the film Young Frankenstein. That's when she started getting larger parts in bigger movies. Oh God, she was in Michael, she was in Mr. Mom, she was in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. She excelled at playing women coping with life-changing experiences of their husbands or boyfriends or children. And maybe it's the confusion that the character has to go through, but she's often dismissed as a dumb blonde, which she wasn't. It takes, I guess, a lot of skill to play a dumb blonde, they would say, but I don't think her characters were necessarily dumb, but she was often dismissed that way. But she was a very likable person. She was a popular guest on talk shows, and also in the movie Tootsie, she was nominated for the Best Supporting Actor, in which she played an actress that was trying to understand the Dustin Hoffman character, who was working as a female to get roles. Anyway, you know the story. One thing I found fascinating, in 1990, she had a stalker, and this woman was calling her on the phone and writing her letters as often as 3 times a day. She'd knock on Teri Garr's door, fill her mailbox with, quote, personal and unexplainable items. And she won, Teri Garr in 1990 won I don't want to say lawsuit, but a restraining order of this woman. So Teri dated and lived with producer MGM co-CEO Roger Burnham for several years, and then she was married to contractor John O'Neill from 1993 until they got divorced in 96, and together they adopted a daughter called Molly. She continued to work on television and also had a notable part on the show Friends and a lot of voiceover work. When she started making Tootsie in 1982, she said that she started losing her balance for no apparent reason. She said she tripped while she was jogging and she felt tingling on the right side of her right arm and right leg. And then she started developing mobility issues with getting out of chairs or going up and down stairs. And finally, it was diagnosed in 1999 with multiple sclerosis. And MS, or multiple sclerosis or MS, there's no known cause or cure for it, and it's irreversible. She revealed that she had MS on the Larry King Show in 2002 in hopes that she would, I guess, encourage others with the same condition. And then in 2006, she had a ruptured brain aneurysm and was in a coma for a week, and she had to regain her speech and motor skills after that. The tragic decline articles came out, sad last days, terrible misfortune she's had, and etc. I mean, it's quite sad, like Annette Funicello. I mean, you sort of look at someone who's so vibrant and known for movement, and then to just likability, and then have something horrible happen to them like this. I guess just to watch the downfall is so awful to witness. But she herself said it doesn't help to contemplate how sad your life is. You just have to move on.
Your sense of humour is well and truly intact. Does that help get you through?
Yes, it does.
Do you find time in every day to laugh?
Mm-hmm. I do. Do you?
I think I do.
Good.
So this is a nice, quiet, little modest street in the San Fernando Valley. And you'll see the smaller houses to the right and to the left that are original to the neighborhood. And just to give you an example of what's going on in LA, you can see these houses on the left. Those are original. They've modified slightly, possibly because the roof is pretty high on that one. But then you have this one. It's rather incongruous, but I love these little ranch-style homes in the valley. And I come down this street because the last home of Teri Garr was on this street. And little by little, the personality of these neighborhoods is changing drastically. Cute little house, stucco, and next to it is that. That's modified heavily with a second floor room. That's the way they all looked, like that. And see what I mean? These are just not modest little houses. And the last home of Teri Garr was right there. I don't know how long she lived here, but I do know that this was her home, or where her home stood. There is probably, that's probably it back there. You see that steel girder thing? That's probably what they call the load-bearing wall, which means that counts as a remodel. You can rip the entire house down and leave one wall up, and it would count as a remodel. Her last on-screen appearance came in 2011 on a TV show called How to Marry a Billionaire. And her ultimate decline, in February of 2023, she began home hospice care and ultimately moved into a full-time hospice facility in which she died on October 29th, 2024 at the age of 79. This is San Fernando Mission Cemetery that we're heading into right now. And I'm hoping that it's going to be a fairly easy find. We're looking for section J, which is either St. Joseph or St. James. So this might be a bit of a wander. Regarding Teri's San Fernando Valley home, is a 3-bedroom house, 2,100 square feet. It was listed for sale in August of 2024. It sold in October for $1.6 million. Teri died in a hospice facility in October 29th. At some point in the same month that she passed away, her house was sold. And I can't find any permits or anything online. It doesn't really matter. Teri's house is gone. There are several celebrities in this cemetery. Richie Valens probably the most prominent. I know that Mays, I forget his first name, the robot in Lost in Space. William Bendix, George Gobel. There are lots of celebrities here. I've been here several times, but not in a while.
Sync has connected to your...
Teri Garr. Her father died in the 50s, actually, and her mother died in 99. Her mother was actually a Rockette, and she was a costume designer for films, theater, and films. And Teri, of course, the legendary dancer and beloved actress. So Teri died in hospice care on the 29th of October 2024 at 5:58 a.m. Her cause of death, respiratory failure and multiple sclerosis. Other existing causes, significant conditions contributing to death but not resulting in the cause of death: human immunodeficiency virus, seizures, and brain aneurysm. She was cremated and buried here on the 1st of November, 2024. Well, rest in peace, Teri Garr. You gave us a lot of laughs, you gave us a lot of entertainment, and you were just seemed like an all-around nice person. So please rest in peace. And I want to thank you all for joining me on this adventure today. I appreciate your time, I appreciate your attention. And until next time.
What knockers? Oh, thank you, Doctor.
You heard me.